Okay, so we are going to discuss today electronic presentations. අපි කතා කරන්න යනවා presentations කියන්නේ මොනවද? electronic presentations කියන්නේ මොනවද කියන එක විශේෂයෙන් පරිගණක පාවිච්චි කරලා electronic presentations නිර්මාණය කරන මුදුකාංග ගැන තමයි මේ පාඩමේ කතා කරන්නේ. practicals මම හිතනවා පුතාලගේ කරන්න ඇති කියලා මම කිහිපයක් අද පෙන්නනවා. කරලා අපි database පාඩමට යන්න තමයි හදන්නේ. So electronic presentation. So what is electronic presentation? Presentation is many kind. Like even right now I'm trying to have a presentation, but it should be electronic medium. Nowadays we are using a computer, internet, right? And different software to deliver presentation, and this is normally known as electronic presentations. Now when we create presentations, we create presentation for many occasions like educational videos, advertising, promoting inventions and so on. So there are a lot of places where we use electronic presentation. The main aim of a presentation is you convey some message or some information. Now for that we will use different set of software. The presentation එක කරනු හින්දා අපි කරනවා එහෙම කරන software ගණනාවක් තියෙනවා. Now if you look at what we have right now, we have Microsoft PowerPoint. That's what we get from Microsoft Windows environment. And this is called proprietary software, which is you can't change anything, you can't see how it is written. And it's also commercial software, Microsoft PowerPoint. And that's exactly what we are going to discuss in this lesson. But there are many other software available, such as OpenOffice Impress. This is the free and open source alternative to PowerPoint. So you can simply do similar tasks, but without paying any fee for the software. So OpenOffice Impress is known as open source, free and open source. Free meaning like you don't have to pay for it. Open source meaning that you can see how the software is written. And if you look at the Apple computers, so Apple has a nice presentation software called Apple Keynote. Like in Windows, it's also proprietary software, and you have to pay for it. And then when it comes to research and development, there's a software called Beamer, which is again free and open source software, very popular in research community. So these are some of the examples of presentation software. Now, just to show you like how it looked like in Windows, let me share my screen. So let me share my screen. Let me open PowerPoint. The version I have is called 365. So what you see here is Office 365. And then you can take a blank presentation, right? And what it contains is what we call the slides, right? So you start with the very first slide in Microsoft PowerPoint. Right, having said that, before we move on to discuss how we should prepare a software, electronic presentation, we need to follow some rules. Okay, let me discuss a couple of rules that you should remember, right? The characteristics of good quality presentation. First of all, the number of lines should be limited because it's a one slide, and then you should not put a lot of text in it. So the usual suggestion is you better to have between 6 to 9 lines of texts. If it is more than 9, it's considered too much. If we have 1 and 2, then it's considered as too less, right? Remember that. And use of font sizes, you have to use a large font size. Now, normally we will get Calibri 11 point. That is the usual font and the size we will get. But for a presentation, remember to have at least 32 point or maximum. This term point is actually a unit we use Now, for example, 1 inch is equal to 72 points. So you can perform the conversion now. So how points could be put into, inches. Third, you should also careful about the grammar and the language usage, because if you make a mistake, it will observe by the audience and people may laugh at you, right? This might happen if you made mistakes or obvious mistakes in a presentation. Presentation එක හදනකොට විශේෂයෙන් පොතේ මේ grammar සහ language errors නම් කරන්න මෙපා කියලා කියන්නේ. බොහොම පරිස්සම් වෙන්න ඕන. මොකද විශේෂයෙන් අපේ විදිහට people might laugh at you, right? And you will feel it. You will get embarrassed during a presentation. Now, when it comes to making presentations, remember that it's not just the text. So sometimes some presentation, you have bunch of text only. And it will be boring. Right now, my presentation, if you think this as a presentation, it's a really boring because there's no animations, there's no graphics and all. So better to include a lot of images, pictures, tables, charts. We call visuals, because people say that it's better to convey information rather than putting as a text. Visual works better. Visual meaning like having images, pictures, tables, charts, and so on. But if you take one particular slide, you should not have more than 2 items, like 2 images, not more than that. Then it will consider it as too many. And I'm putting a presentation use lot of visual information. Visual is better, right? Visual content has a more expressive than just you use texts. Then colors, bold texts, variety of fonts. These could be used for different contents, but you have to be very careful not to use a lot of colors, not to use of lot of font shapes, but you can select couple of font shapes, colors, and so on, depending on your requirement. And some colors like red is we will use to highlight content. So you have to be very careful of use of color red. Then you can also use animation videos, but when you add in them, remember that you will add only one item at a time. Right. And then the other one is content. When you're making a presentation, think about an audience, right? Now, let's say I'm going to create a presentation for grade 1, your sisters and brothers. What do you think? Do I have to choose text, or should I use text, or should I use images? What do you think? I'm making presentations for grade 1 students. Yes? Achira? Amasha? My question is, if let's say I'm going to prepare a presentation for grade 1 sisters and brothers, but in that particular case, would you use text or would you choose images?
Images.
Yeah, it should be images, right? Why images? Why images? Grade 1s, they might not know sometimes reading letters, but they can, understand by looking at the visual. So remember that always when you're creating a presentation, you have to think about the audience, what they need, right? Okay. So let's look at the features of electronic presentation. So you will have a lot of slides, and depend on the content, we have to change the layout. Now let me show you this. This is one of the things you need to remember about the layouts. So I will go back to screen. This is my, this is what I have here. So this is PowerPoint. This is the first slide, header, right? So let me type something. Right. So something about us. Now next, I want to add a slide, but when I say new slide, there are a lot of layouts here. So you have to remember these. Now, for example, first one is called title and content. You will have a title and content, right? We can say, okay, so likewise, you can have one single slide, but you can have a title and one content slide. So this is called title and content. Let's add another one, two content. So you have two things. So you can add different things. Let me add some images. Yes, things like this. Right, so that is two content. There are others as well. Now, for example, here, I can have like, yeah, title only. You can have title only. So you will have a title here. Another slide layout, let me use comparison. Right, so you can have computer, then you can have human. So this is known as comparison. So if you go to this, it says comparison. You are going to compare two things. And finally, let's have a blank. Let's insert some blank, empty. Yes. So this is called layout. Now, for example, here we have two text boxes. This is called header slide. This is title and content. Two content, title only, comparison, and finally we will have a blank slide, right? And this is called slide layout, right? So remember, there are many others, so you need to know this. Now you can insert many things into a presentation. Let's look at some of the things. Now let's go back to my presentations. Let me insert a new slide. Okay, I'm going to change the layout to title and content. Insertion, right? Insert. What you can insert? Okay, let's say we can insert what? We can insert pictures. I already told you, like, you can get pictures, online pictures, stock images, and or even this device will give us some images, right? So these are some of the images. So let's go to the desktop. I already have some files. We'll select one of this. Okay, so this is just insert one image. Yes. And there are any others as well. You can insert, let's say, some shapes. Yes, you can insert some chips. You can insert some smart art, like some processors, hierarchies. Yes, yes, some hierarchies like this. You can insert charts. Yes, we can insert some charts. This is possible, right? A chart. So you can insert a lot of things. Now let me take another slide. So let's say I'm going to insert, okay, let me insert a link. Insert link. So let me put into web page. So let's say Diviner. So this is a link. When you click it, it'll add up. It'll open Diviner. Right? So you can open it. So this is inserting a link. Then there are other things like word art. Right? You can change the color if you want, change the shape. Now, for example, shape, you can decide on what kind of a shape you want, right? You can change the sizes, that is outline, and and text effect. You can put shadow to it, provide some shadow to get a 3D view of this. You can get a reflection like you see in the water, glow, you have glow out, different colors, surfaces, bevel and emboss, that you get 3D look and even 3D rotation. So this is also possible. Right. Now, if you go to text effects, you can change the way it actually shows. Now, for example, I can create a circle if I want, or some arbitrary shape of this. Yes, something like this, even something like this. This is possible. Right? There are a lot of way that you can actually check. Right. So this is, you are getting nice curve, and this is called word art. So if I go to insert, you can insert equation. For example, some equation like this. Insert equation. So you will have equation like this. I'm going to insert a new text box. Text box, separate box. That's also possible. And then you can add videos. Like, let me go back, creating a new slide. Let me insert some video. Like, I'm going to get online video. Yes. Let me see whether I have anything in documents, music videos. Yes, unfortunately, I do not have any. Yes, but I will have some my own set of videos. So let me go to the desktop, try to use some video. So we looking at some video. Right. So you have to have some videos to insert. Unfortunately, I can't. I don't have any. So I'm going to switch it. So that's about inserting. So we have seen in inserting text, objects, pictures. We have not discussed tables, charts, hyperlinks, and graphs. Let me show you tables as well. So here, let me take another one, new slide. You can insert a table. Insert table with the predefined set of rows and columns. So even you can add tables like this. The පුතලට tables උත් මේ විදිහට add කරන්න පුළුවන්. මතක තියාගන්න මොනවද add කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා එකක් අහන එක. Then we have slide design. Now slide design means how it look like, the fonts, the colors you have, right? Now if I go back, if I go here, and if I go to design, these are the different designs available. Now, for example, if I choose this, my whole presentation will change it. Irrespective of what I have, everything has changed. Let me select this. Yes, again it will change. Yes, it will change according to what I select. So this is called design. Design means you can starting from what you have, the colors, you can change the font sizes, the shapes, everything is customized. This is we call use of design. Yes, so likewise you will change. Right, so that's about the design. Right, so this is called slide design. Then slide background. Now, for example, if you go here, and then if you go to background, then you can decide what you want to do for background. So right now it's a picture or texture fill. We can have solid fill, and we can change the color we want. If you want, you can change the color. So the color could be changed from here, more colors. Let me see my own color like this. I can change. Or you can have gradient fill. Gradient means multiple colors. So you can select what colors you want and which direction. So for example, here, it actually change. So you can select the colors if you want. Now, for example, I selected the color. I can put dark blue. So here I can change it to light blue, right? So likewise, I can change the colors. So this is background. You can select different pictures or textures, we call it, and you can use patterns. You know, we can include different patterns here. Right, okay. So that's about formatting the background. Then you can perform animations. We normally call custom animations. But before that, let me introduce slide transition. Now, when you move from one slide to another, then actually, so it will be going from one slide to another slide. But if you want to have animation in between, we have to use slide transitions. Now, to explain this, let me run So this is the first slide. I can use arrow keys, space bar, enter key to go to next. Yes, you may, put it like this. So this is how it look like. But slide transition, when you're going from one slide to another, now look at how it goes. It just go first one, second one, third, no animation in between. So the first one you can do is you can insert slide transition. Now, what do you mean by transition? So you can go to transitions, you can just put something like this. Third one, another one. Fourth one, another one. Eighth one, let me select. Yes, another one. Another one. Likewise. So I include the transitions now. We will see how it goes. So this is the first slide. Go to next one. Next, next, next. The way it has actually going from one is the other is slightly different. So this is called slide transition. This is giving animation when you're changing a slide. Slide එක වෙනස් කරනකොට animation එකක් දෙන එක තමයි slide transition කියලා කියන්නේ. Okay, next one. Custom animations. Now when you have multiple things inside. Now for example, I will get this. There I have multiple things. I have a chart, smart art, chart, picture, and also small graphics, right? Everything could be automated, how it looks like. So when I open it, it just open everything at one shot, but I can change it. Now, how do you do this? You go to animations. You go to animations and then select animation. So when you run this time, this is what will happen. So this is missing. When you click it, it will come, right? So same could be done in other ones as well. So this is custom animation. So select the chart. Okay, let me use bouncing. And then let me use this. We'll take some fading. Last one, this one. Let me put survival. Right. Now let's see how it look like when you run it. This is the first slide without any objects. We have animated. So this is the first one animated, second one, third one, fourth one. So you have the freedom to change things. Okay. So that's about the custom animations. Okay, so when you want to run this, remember you have to use slideshow and run slideshow. So usually the shortcut is F5. When you press F5, it will start from the beginning. But if you want, you can start from anywhere. So let me show you that one as well. So I am here. So when you want to run this presentation, you go to slideshow and select from beginning, which will start from the beginning, go to next, 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 and so on. Right. And then you can be in the third slide. And for example, you can start from here, right? From current slide. So then presentation start with at that point. Okay, so that's about the slideshow. So what you need to remember is if you want to run from the first slide itself, you can choose slideshow from beginning, or we can select F5. If you want to start with the current slide, let's say you have 100 slide, you have to start with 20, then you have to use Shift and F5. Okay, I think That's all we have. Others are just bunch of commands we want to know. Let me just show you, like, for example, you can automate this. Right now, we have like this. We can go to, yes, animations, or we can go to transitions. Okay, advanced light. If you look at here, it's mouse click. So let me just change. After every 5 seconds, you go to the next one and you are going to apply to all. So if you do this, if I run this, yes, so it will automatically advance into the next one. So it goes to the next slide automatically. Wait for 5 seconds and it move to the next one. Wait for 5 seconds, move to the next one. So this is the basics. For example, if you want to make a picture slideshow. Okay, that's all I have for presentations.